Yo, happy Saturday morning live, season 7, episode 34. 34. How is everybody? Oh, wait a minute. It's funny how I don't realize it until the last second, right? Yeah. Been here all morning, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think everything's in order. That was like a last minute dash to get all my P's and Q's done. Trying to make it more comfortable to sit. I hadn't sat all morning. How is everybody? Make sure the stream's good. Okay, that's working. Good, good. Hey. It's been a hectic week. Yesterday was busy as heck. No, actually, Thursday was busy as heck. Friday wasn't bad. And plumbing is done. Yay. I've mentioned this a couple. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but they had to dig up. Yeah, I guess they wouldn't really have. Wouldn't really have, but because it started Monday and went all week. No toilet in the shop, no water, which that's not a big deal. We're used to that because we didn't have water anyway. So they had to dig up the floor in ours, next door, and the back. Concrete and all to repair all the pipe work. So I've got Mississippi cold drip. Yeah, Pete, I know. I've got like 5 containers of Mississippi cold drip, but they're all not cold. And I have very little ice left. My ice status usually on Saturdays is I don't get it because I hadn't moved the refrigerator. Basically, I have to get a junk hauler now or a pickup. I'm probably just going to rent a pickup from like U-Haul, probably like, and because I got to move a bunch of large pieces of equipment. Long story short, they dug up the concrete, severed the connection from my hot water heater, which I hadn't used ever. So I can now get rid of it, which means more shelf space. We're going to have a new narrow Nakitoma that's way in the back that you'll never see, but it will be Nakitoma 8. I just have to make it tall and narrow somehow, which will be an adventure all in itself, I'm sure, because they don't really make tall, narrow ones. Anyway, I'm gonna, so yeah, I've got plenty of cold drip, but none of it is cold. It's all room temperature drip. I could probably get enough ice left out of the cooler to really. Yeah. SUP is over there. Yeah, let's give these people a benefit of the doubt. If they stay over there longer than 15 minutes, then Frank's coming out for the rest of the broadcast. I just want to say, go find another fucking spot. I already had to say it twice this morning, and at some point, I just tired of being assholes to assholes, even though assholes deserve it. Anyway, we'll give them a benefit of the doubt. Maybe they'll be in and out of here. If not, it ain't happening again, though, damn it. Okay, where's my Frank hat? Let's get assembled. We gotta get assembled, y'all. Even though it was just a reflection of the light. Lock force assemble! Oh, what do you got down here? Okay, good. Yeah, I hadn't plugged up that other camera. As mentioned in the title, and as kind of started yesterday afternoon, I've got over there, down there on last name table, first name Clark, my main bag that I use to do everything, you know, pretty much just this always the thing I grab. Puppy! It's always the first bag I grab. And then I brought in, and when I was back there, I was like, I'm gonna grab this one too, and then I really need to get rid of the rust problem. So I grabbed my container that when I pull open my drawer and I'm working right there, or even when I open the back door, because I have that like exposed for the most part, and the sudden burst of wind, what happened this time, what caused the problem this time, was a sudden whoosh, and I was going to the truck, and when you open the door, it just goes in over your tools. You can't help that. So things get wet, things rust, and yeah, I'd love to have a sealed container that I was proficient enough to literally cap every time, but I've never found one that's easy to open quickly, and B, I hate opening things to get to things that I'm using often. The lid, you have to take it off, you do something with the lid, it gets, anyway, it's just easier to have it like right there, kind of like at a bench. But obviously, some tools get a little bit rushed, and we've hit that zone. I was trying to find my better resetter. The thing disappears pretty easily. I still haven't ordered one, but I do need to. And I was started to dig through it, and I realized where all my quickset popper outer tools were. They were at the bottom, helping the rest along, let's just say. So we're gonna spray all that today. We're not stripping anything. I noticed a rash of YouTubers doing like pushing, what's the name of that rust stuff? Every time rust comes up, everybody's like, get rust, whatever the hell the name of it is. Somebody, I'm sure, will post it here, but I hate it. It smells. I don't like it. I'd rather just clean up the little bit of rust that is in that, bin, soak them or whatever. Wire brush what needs to be wire brush. Now I'm watching Homeboy across the street here. So, somebody posted a link to hard plastic ones that you can get by the buttload, and I was like, that's a great idea. I'm just going to line the whole inside of my van with them. I never did get around to ordering them. In fact, I can't even remember the name of it, but I'm sure a quick Google search would figure that out. Some kind of yellow plastic. You could buy them in bricks, and I was like, yeah, let's just mason in the inside of my van with bricks of them. That'd be pretty awesome. Except when you had to change them. I don't know. It's Evaporust. Thank you, Nate. Gee, yeah, that stuff. I've tried it multiple times. Between soaking it and then I know you can really reuse it. There's everything about it I just don't like. I don't like chemicals, especially weak ass strippers. Obviously, if you saw the video that I posted yesterday on swapping out that rim lock, I need to. So in lieu of all that, I have a Coke today, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pop open this nice, refreshing Coke that was bottled somewhere here in Jackson, actually, I believe. Richland, I think, is where they're bottling it up. I think they bailed out of all of Jackson, actually. Hold on. I gotta find my koozie for that thing, which I think they might be all in my damn vehicle. Oh, there it is. Hi. I gotta say, y'all, this one is it's a bag of Schlage tail pieces and set screws and a thin mortise ring that I gotta put back in the truck. The thermos one that looks just like this. Oh, look, there's a model number. 2700T. My faith in humanity is restored. Thanks, kids. See? 2700 TR, made in China, obviously. But this thing keeps Cokes colder than anything I've ever seen, and it's very sleek. Just FYI, in case you're wondering. Good job, kids. Hey, we are needing to go to that camera. Points balance. I think we reset. I think it got, I don't know what's going on with that. Let's see, read points, users. Yes, it did reset. Gumby got a bonus for gaming. First in. So yeah, it's got no, yeah, I've had like 3 people already. One guy literally at 7, right, when did I get here this morning? I was like 7:30, 7:15. I don't know. I don't open until 9 technically, but he showed up at like right after I got here, so it was like 7:45ish. Got all my police keys, my police logo key. He bought all 5 of them, so that row's empty now, or that peg's empty. And then what else did I have? A couple of uh, somebody that thought they had 2 different keys on their ring, and turns out it was a minute copy of another key. Yep, that reminds me. Hold on, please. Ah! Okay, set you up for time next week. We're only open in store on Saturdays. Okay, thank you. Oh my goodness. I hope you don't get scammed. I'm sure you will, though. You know, people that just wait to do things and then think that, you know, oh, you're not going to find anybody. I'm sure she's going to be calling back. If not, then she's going to get scammed out of some cash. I'm guessing that $150 job is going to be a $400 job when all is said and done. For the people that do answer their phone. There's a strange structure across the street, and you can't really see it, but when I move the camera up front, I will show you the strange structure, and I will pick the Lock Force community's hive mind to figure out what in the F this is going to be. None of us know. We don't want to ask him. We'll find out eventually, but right now, we don't know what the F and F is this thing that he just put up across the street. I'm guessing some kind of weird gate. Fancy. I don't know. It's weird. It's tall, it's weird. It's like 12 foot, no, those are like 15-foot tall black poles with rods sticking out facing each other in what looks to be an obvious entryway. So I don't know if they're going to be stabilizing poles for like partial wall. I don't know. We'll look at it in a minute. We're so confused about it, and every time I look over there, I get even more confused about it. Climbing, yeah. I mean, anybody would be like, "I'm gonna go climb it." It looks like those things that go up a tower where there's one pole and there's rods on each side, or the old, back in the day when we had fun shit like that where we could fall and break our bones, where you just climb up, like, but there's only poles sticking out one side. At the perfect height, well, pretty close together, but kind of the perfect height to climb if there was a pole sticking out the other side. As is, it would be very difficult to do. But they stick out kind of far, so I imagine you could just literally, maybe that's what it is, like to get into Louise's Piano Bar and Jazz Club. I think I'm going to say it like that from now on. Louise's Piano Bar and Jazz Club. You have to perform a physical fitness test by climbing the poles. Anyway, we'll look at that in a minute. That's crazy. I don't know. They're planning on being open late. Everybody in Jackson metropolitan area knows how things happen when it gets late. Oh, hey, J-Bot. What's up, Wind Gracer? Welcome to the stream. In case you haven't been here, I just missed it. Evan! Are you here, Evan? Is Evan here? Somebody find Evan right now. We gotta find Evan. Is Evan here? Evan totally just didn't reply to us last stream. And I hadn't even looked to see if I know if I have Evan's info, but Evan, everybody spam Evan right now. Evan! Wait, let me see if he's showing up in the lock force points. Is he here? Oh, that's one way to know who all is here. Oh, this is actually pretty sweet for me. Evan's not here, it doesn't look like. I think Evan was a figment of our imagination, y'all. Which would be good for Sushi. Sushi's over here like, shut up, don't say anything about Evan. Don't tag Evan. Nobody tag Evan. Don't say it. No, see, you know, it would, except literally anytime anybody in the U.S. sets up a camera to do stuff and people figure out it's there, they utilize it the wrong ways, as evidenced by that New York, Dublin, Ireland portal that they put. Yeah, it's all fun and games until this homeboy decides to, you know, get butt naked outside, or the lady decides to sit. I never even mentioned this, but we had a visitor a couple of nights ago, 5 nights ago, and she sat right down in front of my window. More than likely, either talking to my plants through the window, Kim's plants, or herself, or a combination of both. She did that for a good 10 minutes right there after touching the window, which made me fire off into a whole thing. And I did not even realize all that had happened until I was contacted by somebody else saying, hey, can you check your cameras? I was like, yes, fuck. And then lost interest in what she did over there. Come to find out, weird things on the, I don't know. Some sort of mounting system, but it's like an entryway. Like if you're envisioning, if you're standing in front of the building, the poles are wide enough apart to be like huge gate pivots almost, looks like, because it kind of frames the walkway, which I'm sure once they pour the concrete, I mean, it's right in line with the door, so it's obviously going to be something there. We're just wondering if they're going to bar it over to the buildings as well. It's very curious. We'll look at it in a minute. Yeah, and the colored tracer lights run all night. I think they run all night. Yeah, I checked for that. There was it wasn't a Bluetooth thing. Sobriety test. Louise's Piano Bar and Jazz Club. Jazz Club and Piano Bar. I think it's Piano Bar and Jazz Club. Road trip. No, I don't have any. I haven't updated any of my mobile communicating apps to my phone. But you'll get the gist of it when I zoom in on the camera. I'm gonna set that up now because we do have to start fucking around with this rust. Anybody else get to deal with rust issues? Failed. No, they're not. They're not that long. They're short, like this wide. From here, they look like they're a foot. Round rods, like a ladder going up one side of a pole, and 2 poles, and they're facing each other. So it's like teeth. super weird. I'll go get the camera. I don't know. I'm very curious. Maybe somebody here will like instantly recognize it. That's what I'm hoping. Like, oh yeah, I know what they're doing. Because nobody around here does, including the person doing it. Oh, mate. There's a vision here. One man, one vision. We may be a bajizzy. Turnstile. It looks like it almost reminds you of a turnstile, but why would they have a 15-foot fucking tall turnstile? Like, yeah, but shorter. I don't know. And I don't think the poles swivel. I think they're stationary. All right, so he's not coming in. Thank you for delaying me. Well, I can't take a sip of my coffee before I go up front. We do need to do a switch on the mic and all that. Hold on. Nope. Wrong one. Nope. Nope. Shit. That one. I don't know how long we give Evan. I do need. I think I do have his information, y'all. Let me look. Where is it? No, he's not there. I knew that was going to accidentally happen. Stop. Now, hold on a sec. Let me sort something out. Hold on, I have to do administrative things here real quick. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And that's what I'm looking for. Okay, correct. Thank you. Thank you. Um, I've had a question pop up on the Lock Force Academy thing. I'm actually going to be closing that soon and like resetting everything and getting worked on the diplomas in case y'all did that. It was not for naught. I got to get all the grades finalized and not really close it, but really lock those rooms. Somebody had asked if they could retake the test, and you can up till now, and I have not checked in on that in a while, so I kind of need to do that, you know. It'll take me about a minute, and then we'll go up front. Uh, nope, did not mean to click on that. I ain't got time to go through that list. Uh, 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 uh. Huh. Okay, well, aside from that, sushi may be in luck. Now let me reset the JBot thing here and make sure it's set. Okay, good. I don't have to do that. Good. Okay, let's go front. Or let me go get this thing plugged in real quick. Uh, 4 total exams there were. Well, 5 if you count. Five if you count a very, very easy exam. Uh, work camera. All right, let's go ahead and shift. Microphone. Wait. In fact, it's actually hilarious there. A delivery truck pulled up to block our view just now. I was like, are you for real? We were trying to make a point here, damn it. And he pulled right in the way. uh, I'm glad I was making that motion with my hand when that person pulled up. It just happened to be the right time to run that person off, too. Like, he pulled in, and I was like, get out of here. And then he left. Yeah, see, lock and key. Hey, and y'all were talking about another state, and I've been checking in. Like last week, I checked in, and I haven't done it yet. That reminds me, I need to make a list for myself. I need to check in on that dude that shot the other locksmith in North Carolina. He should be sentenced by now, right? Why isn't there any information on that? Is anybody good at public, like finding out if in going court doc? I'm sure there's like updated court documents somewhere. Like if he's been to court and got sentenced. It's been long enough. Son of a bitch better be behind bars still. I don't know. I don't know what reminded me of that. Somebody said Iowa, but that was actually in North Carolina though. King's Classic, you got your door marker. Thank you. Thank you for getting a door marker. I hope you enjoy it. Just remember, keep measuring it always. It's just an assistant. Assistant. We've got Fortune. What does that say? Fortune something cooking. Fortune something cooking. So Walker's is a new owner, and he has changed up some of the delivery people. So that's a new one, or that might be that looks like Oriental handwriting. So I'm guessing that's delivering to the actual Oriental restaurant over here, Little Tokyo. I wish I could read that first word. All I see is fortune something cooking. Fortune, so fortune cookie? Yeah, I don't think it's cookie. Cooking. Fortune cookies. I'm guessing it's an Oriental place getting delivery. You know, we got a box in from Amazon. We're like, okay. Kim was like, did you order anything? I was like, no. She goes, well, I didn't either because it was like a really big box. Uh, Amazon dude brought it in, took a picture, went on his way. Actually, they're not taking pictures anymore. We're getting now to the point with Amazon deliveries where if it's the regular driver, they don't have to do all the picture stuff. Some of them make you sign. One dude's just like, yo, here, it's done. Uh, so with any change, that's being weird. But the flex drivers have to do like a photo, and they're the ones that bring shit on Sunday morning when I'm not. Anyway, they brought the box in, and Kim and I were just like, I don't know. So I set up a thing to record it because you never know what's gonna happen with a package, and it was like 15 bags of slivered almonds. We were thinking, wow, what do we get? My first thought was, what in the hell are we going to do with so many slivered almonds? Thinking it was just some kind of one of those weirdo Amazon mistakes. Turns out it was for them, and he just brought it to us. It's like, no, we're not 3,000. Then we looked at the label. Check your label, y'all. So Kim toted it down there. Said, here's your almonds. Who is that talking? Hold on, let me do a camera check, and then we're gonna go up front, and we're gonna wait till we're just gonna go ahead and do what we got to do, with that, or not. Hey.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. You don't have to take it off. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. Can I get 2 copies, please?
2?
Yes, thank you. You are the only place that can make copies of this key. No other place can make a good copy. And it works fine in the door, but they say they've gone to all these digital things. They don't use these anymore. It's some kind of digital scanning thing, and it can't scan the key.
Okay, 1188. Okay, it's ready. Slivered, shaved or slivered almonds. I don't know. It was a shitload of almonds. They weren't whole. That to block people from pulling in, possibly. Yeah, and homeboy's still in the truck there, so we still can't see it yet. As soon as he moves, I'll move the camera. Yeah, I mean, we get that a lot. I hate to say it like that, but so it's just like we let people figure that out for themselves. When you try to explain it to people that have, I mean, we're just the opposite. You know, when somebody hands us a Walmart copy, we're like, we don't guarantee Walmart copies. It was, see, and that's another reason I'm like, because that particular key really shouldn't be passed out like candy, like it's being passed out. Not my problem. Not a restricted key by any means. Just like slightly unusual. Literally, I know what it's for. I know exactly what it fits. And I also know that it shouldn't be passed out like candy. And there are certain people throughout the year that like to get dozens and dozens of keys made. Once a week, once every other week. The reason they're made better is because I'm not making them off the customer's shitty copy. I'm making them off my original key, which I painstakingly recreated to match the dumb shit who started the whole system to begin with. Mistake. Anyway, long story short, whatever. Whatever. People can think what they. At my point, it's like people can think what they think of me. Whatever. It's good to hear. I mean, yeah, it's like I'm glad. I'm glad I'm able to provide keys that actually work. Yeah. But it was a Corbin Russell key, like a special Corbin Russell key that not everybody has. But literally, I have because I know that they pass them out like candy. Here's a key for you, and here's a key for you every year. The cost of it's really knocking them down. So instead of buying like 8 to 10, now they're like, oh, what about 2? Like I literally had somebody come in one 8, and we were like, these things are like $6 each. Oh, well, how about 2? It suddenly goes from 8 to 2. Like, oh, well, I'm not going to be the hero of my area and able to pass out keys at free will. So anyway, let's go up front and do the thing that we were doing anyway. We got to switch the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on mic switch. Still there. Oh yeah. What were we doing? Rust problems. That's right. My head's cut off. That's terrible. Let me fix that. Hold on. Let me pull my britches up. I got some big britches on today, y'all. Okay. Can y'all hear me okay? We'll be in this position until homeboy moves. What does that say? Fortune, fish, and gourmet. Fortune, fish, and gourmet. See, lock and key. Yes, sir. Okay. Sounds okay. Okay. Whoa. Whoa, who's beeping? Maybe it's the Fortune Fish and Gourmet dude. We're talking about you, bro. Get out of the way. There's a delay. Won't hear that for a second. Anyway, yeah, let's do the lock thing. Yes, that was a caller. I was watching my pants are so. Does this thing work? Did my camera freeze? Nope, it didn't. You don't even know about rust. Oh, I know about some rust. We gonna see some rust. I guess that wasn't homeboy in the truck. We're gonna go ahead and zoom down a little bit here. Kind of zoom in a little bit there. Look, I got new shoes, y'all. Kim got me new shoes. So this is the remainder of a job that I had to replace a bunch of hardware on using Schlage. This is kind of the leftover materials. I need to extract some of those screws because they're still good. In fact, I'll do that right now and get rid of this permanently. Holes were off. Had to take the thing off, you know. Now, but these can definitely be transferred back into use for other things. This particular door also had has security strikes already installed, so good for the customer. As we do. Speaking of, did I mention that my toilet got fixed? Anyway, they dug up the concrete. They fixed it in a week, y'all. Dug up down like 6 feet into the ground through old ass concrete. Building's been here since, nobody really knows exactly, but at least 90, almost 100 years, right at 100 years old. We're getting right there at it. You don't think about much, but hell, we're already 25 in, going back to 2000, and this thing was here since like the 20s to the 40s era, sometime or another. So they had to punch in the concrete. Screw you, Schlage. I do save those for hilarious video purposes. What's under here is trying to extract this one screw. Okay, that is garbage. This goes up. And let's move this guy out of the way. This guy out of the way. All this is going to go back in the bag, so I'm going to do that real quick. Because this is the issue. Oh, hold up. This is kind of the issue. A shelf. underneath that lies our big issue. This is scrap. That is, I don't know what logo that is. Home? Is that a Reliabuilt logo? H. Whose logo is that, y'all? It's a copy of a quick, not even a quick set. This is a copy of Callan. Callan. Truck's still there. Is this a good cam? That's probably still a good cam. This is a good ring. That is not. I do see a couple of little things in here I need to grab out. So, boop, boop. No, those are bad. I ran into a Corbin Wrestling that had some strip. No, those aren't, actually. These aren't those. Stripped out screws. Maybe it's these. Nope. Not 100% sure about that one. That is a good cam. There's a good retainer pin. Another good shim. Bent spring, bent spring, bent spring. Yep, that's the stripped out one. This one's good. Broken. And a disc. Which I actually have a spot for. Okay. I'm going to take this and scrap the metal real quick. And then we can use this for that. I'll be right back. Alright, let's move over here real quick. Go ahead and get these guys up. So, main tool bag through. Got these. I'm going to use the lid go real quick. Now, we're going to need those paper towels in a minute, though. I am missing. Yep. That goes there. I'm missing a bit in that. Right now, this is the Molly bag from LAPG. Literally one of my favoriteest bags ever. It's super cheap. I don't use the Molly on the outside for anything, except for this, which I've never used anyways. I don't know why it's there. 100% the best bag ever. This pocket is pretty useless in here, but is what it is. So this just makes it easy to carry stuff. This all kind of goes in here, so I'm just going to put it all back like I had it before. Engineer pliers. Way like these, way better than the Cobra or the Twin Grip. This thing has been useless, but has literally been riding with me since day one. So I kind of feel like it's got to be with me. I don't know why. My poor hinge doctor that has been used a couple of times. Bad for scoring locks. I'm so tired of these fucking doors made out of plastic. And then just a few bags of this. I mean, this is a shitty way to keep things, but it's also quick. What's this one? That is the non-slip version. Screwdriver. I really don't know why I keep this in here. I just do, just in case. Because I always have a screwdriver in my back pocket anyway. Pry bar, bottom. A couple of chisels that are freshly sharpened. I think I used this one the other day, but this one should be pristine. And in fact, I re-beveled one of them. I made it way swoopy. This one's like swoopy this way, and this one's like swoopy that way. We'll just clip this in here. It never gets re-clipped though when I'm using it. I don't really know why I keep this in here. I never wear it as a headband. These things stretch out and make this thing pretty damn useless. But it does work good as a light, and you can just kind of use the headband to kind of like prop it up. So I'm going to really consider that, because I usually have this light on me anyway, which is not nearly as easy to deal with, but that's what it is. Emergency goggles that need to be replaced. These are pretty scratched up. I had brought in this to use this as a safety goggles container, and it worked once until I used them, and then I never put them back. Let me get a better pair of these. We'll just steal the shot there. I bought a 10-pack of these from somewhere, and I've gone through most of them. Just because I'm not good at keeping my safety goggles scratch free. That needs to go in there. And the loose bits. Let's put this up on the counter. I'll dip. Oh, no, no. Oh, you son of a bitch. Truck's still there, y'all. I don't know what we're going to do if we can't see. He's sitting in the truck. Homeboy's up in the truck right now. I think that really was the dude that called. Now he's just like, I ain't moving. You wanted me to move? You kiss it. Kiss it. 2 tape measures don't belong in the bag. One of them does, the lighter one. So I usually, first time on a clean bag, I'll have it clipped right here beside the drill bits. Which, by the way, I use this guy from Drill Hog. I do need to order another one of these. It's just very convenient having a bunch of the small size. It's just when you come time to replace them, you know. It's like you got to buy a 10-pack of them if you want to buy them individually. So that means you got to decide which 10. And once you go through and order a 10-pack of every one of them, you're like you're at $100 worth of drill bits. So I keep the spares in these guys, and these probably taps and stuff, which I give these a squirt of lubricant every so often too. They're still looking okay. Good. We got a glare. If I brought the camera around, it probably wouldn't have as much of a glare backdrop. So those are the tiny ones. And these guys, these 2, let's see, how do I want to do this? This is a mostly full kit. And bit. Let me go grab this. Probably should stay in the truck, but I'm just going to plop them up on bench over here. Get them sorted out later. Alright, where are we? No really great way to store chisels. I'll just do that. Slip them down in there, right? Boop, boop. One of these 2 is for these guys. Another bits container, and I need to replace screws on his. And this is a reminder for me too, because I had to steal these screws. It's a reminder for me to get extra screws for the van, so I don't have to steal said screws again. Don't fucking park the truck like that. Sincerely hope he is in the cleaner. And then just random bits. The downside of that is you have to dig through them to, find what you need. But they kind of fit pretty good in there. And then just other random stuff. Swap here. Could probably go for a new round of I could consolidate quite a bit of that. At this point, it's built up with all these other ones. And you probably would be best off doing the going ahead and sorting out this as a item itself. I think I can do better there, which would probably help out. And I could also combine maybe some of this, because I've got a brand new one of these containers. I'm just waiting for the latches to break on that one to kind of do the whole thing anyway. So it's like once they break, I have to transfer them. At that point, it'll make sense to actually transfer them, all of this also has its own container, which I don't have in here, so I'm just going to move it over for right now. This will complete these back, and put that in there. And that's basically my go bag, which I'm going to put out of the way right now. And grab the paper towel. Ah, shut up. Ring a bell, Mary, damn it. And this. And go check on the comments. I have not checked on y'all lately. Take care, Susie. I've tried plastic things. Somewhere in Jackson's a nail waiting for that, yeah. Alright, so this sits in my... The reason I use this, I cut off this end of it, sharp as hell, by the way, because this fits in my pull-out drawer literally perfectly. Is it a great solution? No. So basically, when I open the door to my van, this is kind of exposed, and as rain sprays in there, and then it dries, because literally I can't take each and every one of these out every single time and hand dry it. It just has to be done every so often, or it'll get really bad. So this one actually needs to be clean tools that are miraculously rust resistant. Oh no, we're getting some right there. Probably need to wipe that off just so it doesn't push it. But it's not going to get lubricant. This is for the lubricant. Profile cylinder doodad. Yeah. Yeah. Literally don't ever use that guy. Alright, the rest of this is gonna be rust. Except for a little bit. Anything that needs lubricant goes here. That's a shame. That's a good Jason modded bit. Man, we're getting pretty heavy now, y'all. Not bad. Just a few soakings. I've been trying to be pretty careful with that. Probably gonna recut those. There's all my picks. Somehow or another, we've got some rusty keys there. Oh, that poor file. Yep. It's getting worse as we go. Hey, that's where all my... It looks like we're going to need 3 piles, honestly, here, y'all. There's some that are really bad. Now, we got to discuss these drill bits, too. Okay. So, I think the rest of this can go... Oh. Not OEM. Look at the Medico. Look at Medico pins right there. How far do you take your hoarding? Do you save this 2 Medico pins? Yeah, you usually do, right? Let me go put these with the other little baby things that you got to deal with. I don't know if we're going to be able to recover that, y'all. They're dollar store plates. No. Should we even try, or should I just go to the dollar store and buy some more? I had a stack of them, but I think that was the last one that I used to do that. I may have one more in the back. 2 Medico pens is $2. $2 is $2, right? I mean, this is what it is. I have not made a recent chisel sharpening video. I literally just used cheap stones from Harbor Freight, the diamond stones, and just... If it's real bad, I'll use the grinder to hit it up, but it's so hard to recover from using a grinder. Yeah, I have a Medico Adams Wright cam. Even though I have like a bunch of these, I'm sure this cam is like, what, $7 fucking or something. I've even got some of the old crooked cams that come off the back. Like the cam kit I have talks about like Seagal cylinders and stuff like that. Do they even offer this cam anymore? I wouldn't think so unless you buy that old kit, but I bet even the kits don't come with those guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Is that a common thing for Medico? I don't know. But yeah, I'm sure they're like ridiculously priced. Hell, regular Corbin wrestling cams are like $4 each or something, so I wouldn't be surprised. Didn't you? Yeah, I use them for everything from soaking to whatever. I don't think I have any good condition ones. Oh my God, y'all! I totally realized this. So the bathroom toilet's done and it flushes, and we have water now. Totally wouldn't drink it. That's disgusting as shit. But at least we can wash our hands now. Except I have to cut it on and off at the bottom because we have an old ass, cracked handle, beat up, cheap faucet thing. And the plumber was like, well, it drips, so you're going to have to replace this whole faucet. It's obviously in need of replacement. We've just never bothered because we knew it was pointless to do it because we never had water pressure. Now we've got water pressure, so I need a new faucet. And I was like, shit, I'll just run by like Ace or Lowe's or something and buy literally the cheapest shit I could find. And then I realized I've got brass faucets somewhere here that I've had for a long time that were sold with all this other brass decorative hardware. They sold brass faucets. And somewhere in a plastic bin in this building, I'm going to be able to locate a suitable replacement faucet that is not only 1,000 times made better, but probably looks ridiculous. Like I'll probably be able to attach some kind of weird knob to it because I've got a bunch of faucet knobs too. And I just realized that that's going to be hilarious. Anyway, just thought about that. So I don't have to go buy one. I just have to literally find it. I have a box that says old plumbing somewhere around here. To explain a little better, one of them had a seashell. Like I had one and it may very well fit, come to think about it. Now that it's disconnected from the hot water heater and the water supply, I may be able to do a faucet that is all the way across, even though I can't use it. What would be the point of having double, I don't know, hot water heater? Anyway, it had a seashell, like a solid brass faucet, and like the turn things, it was a seashell. I hope that'll fit. That would be super awesome. Have a seashell faucet thing. It was in a plastic bin somewhere. Shit, there's no spindles in here. There's no faucet. Wait a minute. Look. There's a ball or brass soap dish. Everybody needs a fancy soap dish like that. But there's no... Oh, I can use that for a weapon. Bong! Here's a brass rosette for a spindle. There's like cold water, or I could screw it onto the spindle, or even like fancy ass. I don't know how these assemble. I guess like that. I'm a locksmith, not a plumber. Look at that son of a bitch. Man, that would be baller. This is real ceramic too, probably from Italy. Or solid brass. If I don't want cold water, I can do like solid brass. This is not plumbing. I don't know how that got in here. Okay, so the only problem is I've got a tub one, but I don't have a... Yeah, I don't have a... Okay. Maybe there's another box. I remember seeing some kind of... Damn. Find it quickly. I know I've got some spindles and stuff. As to whether or not I can actually turn it into a faucet, that remains to be seen. It's in the back room. Oh, what was I looking for? Hold on. I know exactly where that is. Gonna have to rethink that. Oh, they moved! Holy shit, y'all ready? Y'all ready to finally see it? He's literally pulling out right now. Here we go. Weren't here earlier. We need to figure out what this is, y'all. Homeboy finally moved. God, that's been like an hour. Hasn't it been like an hour? Okay, yeah, it kept freezing. We're good now, though. So I can't zoom in anymore, otherwise it'll freeze up. What do y'all think that is? I like the agility course thing. That's got to be it. Like, if you want to come listen to smooth jazz in our spot, you got to climb the poles. I don't know. If anybody recognizes what that's going to be, let us know in the comments. Because we're all highly curious. A big gate? Nah, that was my guess. A big gate. No idea how it will work. It just looks like a big gate. I don't know. Entrance to a fenced off area where they're going to have an outdoor bar. There's not a lot of room, man. There's just not a lot of room for that. There's definitely an entrance way. How much more bars are going up? Is that the beginning? Is that it? You don't have that? No, we don't have that. Why is it so tall, though? That's tall. That is 15 foot, about 14, 15 foot tall. If I went and stood over there, I would come up to probably the halfway. So anywhere from 12 to 15 foot tall. I don't know. Nobody knows. I guess we'll see sometime or another sooner or later, though, for sure. The other side's there. You can't see it, but if you look, there's a. Here, let me just zoom it in this way. So it's got the duplicate. It's kind of hard to see there, but it's there. So, I don't know. Yeah, because they don't have their own parking. It's just going to add to the problem. But now there's two of them. I don't know. Far enough apart to be, I don't know, some kind of fence. Why would it be that tall? Why would it be built like that? Why? That's nothing like anything I've ever seen. I know. Yeah, I was just kind of wondering if anybody had. Nobody came up with ideas on Twitter. So who knows? It's crazy though. It's definitely something black. All I'm thinking is black iron is going to go to the wall, like from one side to the green wall and then to the brick wall on the other one to block it off. Why would it? Where? How high is it going to be? Is it going to be the same height? That's going to look crazy if they put in what would basically be decorative iron bars or decorative iron fencing that big. It would totally obscure the front of your business. At that point, if you were going to do that, why wouldn't you have taken your mural and your new awning and the name and put it on the building in front of State Street? Now I know there's a pole there, so they've never been able to. Like, that's why they've an arch entrance to the new speakeasy. The pole is the problem with the other building, and the city won't relocate the pole. There's really nowhere to relocate the pole to unless they don't know. There isn't another way to do that. And that pole really significantly f's up the front of that building. I think honestly, if that pole was never there and they figured out a way to reroute the power necessary, that building could have been what the other one was, right? Put front on it's set back. I don't know. It's weird. I would have. I don't know how they said they can't move the pole. That's in the store. So unfortunately, it does kind of f up that building. I don't even know where. There's supposed to be a karaoke room too. Super weird. All right, let me go freeze this camera a couple of times. Holy crap, that did the freeze. It did it? Not really? It didn't. That's crazy. Okay, mic switch again. Woohoo, thanks for the subscribe. Appreciate that. J-Bot's not on. I gotta go to Harbor Freight, y'all, because I'm running out of rubbers. I hate it when that happens. Yeah, that's gonna take a minute. Come up with something better for this. Like, if plastic wasn't so problematic, nothing else is this same shape. I'm not going to reuse this. So I guess we're going to go ahead and do this. This is my last cleanest one, so I do have to definitely go to the dollar store and buy another few. All right, let's isolate the worst of them. That's not that big of a deal. These just to wipe down. These just to spray down. Yeah. Once that surface rust is gone, they're okay. This guy kind of needs it. White. This guy, yeah. Actually, I'm going to wire brush these before I get them wet. So this, and this. This, I'm going to wire brush. The rest of this can just be hosed and wiped down. Soak. Yep. These bits, this bit twisted up on me, I feel like. I gotta check that. Soak. plug followers. Soak. I think they're going to get put in something else completely. Soak, soak. This just needed to be sprayed off a little bit on one side here. Things like this are the catalyst. It's all because of this one screw that this whole thing got screwed up. How dare you. Honestly, this will probably just spray out too. No, they got pretty rough. Oh, yeah, it'll spray. That'll buff out. You know, maybe these would be a good solution to that. At least for the commonly rusting stuff. And then the rest of it that doesn't really rust can probably stay out. Nope. Oh, I lost my paper towels. Because all these are good. Maybe this. That is consumable. That's pretty bad. Probably gonna brush that off. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Consumable. That needs to go with the other Schlage cylinders. I don't know how you got put here. Pretty rusty keys, not really worth it to deal. This will invariably be re-keyed anyway, so I'm just going to kind of put that, yeah. These have got a bunch of them. And this guy's definitely going to need brushing off. How rust resistant is the osso alloy screwdriver? Not very. Wire brush. Alright, so it looks like out of that we're good here, here. The main stuff that I use that really never gets a chance to get rusty because I'm always grabbing it. These handles are kind of icky. If you're going to ask what kind of pliers these are, don't know. Nippex says it's not theirs. I don't believe them. It was made for Euro cylinders, so, and it was made during the 70s, 80s, 70s. It's definitely a Nippex, even though they don't claim it is. Works a treat. Really like to get those remanufactured. That would be an awesome tool, but only people that could do that kind of quality would be Nippex. And you have to sell a bunch of them to make Nipex even consider it. I think I want to wire brush that because I think we're good. Yeah, we're good, good. Some various picks in addition to those. This one, I don't know if this one's a truck or a shop. I don't feel like that's a shop screwdriver. Boop. Alright, so let's get one more paper towel and some kind of container to put these in until I come up with what I want to use for real on it. Or Monday morning I go buy a few new ones of these. I don't know. I hate dealing with this time and time again, so maybe I don't like evaporust at all. But we're not actually totally done here either, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up. So let me go find something to put this shit in, because it needs to get out of the way for a minute. 100 to 1, I come back with a plastic bin. Okay, Jason, you've used this in the past. Use it again. I think it'll fit. If I put this way, it's going to irritate me with the latch flooping over, but I think this will be maybe a valid use for this. If not, I'll go buy another one. See, why am I putting the non-rusting things in here? I should reserve this for the rusting things, right? But for right now, let's just get it out of the way. And come to terms with trying to use it. How about that? I wonder if two of them... I think they're gonna fit like I think they're gonna fit. I think I've probably tried it. I may have to buff that out. It's rough. Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna run all these across. Just a quick pass on the wire brush. Otherwise, they're gonna propagate the rust. You know what I mean? We don't want no propagation of rust. Get everything all nice and pretty, and it re-rust back up because of one little spot that I missed. I hate to see these magnets, but they're These magnets that I literally never use. Shittiest way to try to profile, rekey a profile cylinder ever. Up there's an aluminum one I made. This guy's bad about propagating rust. Even though it's aluminum, it still does. Yes. Yes, that's what that's for. It's exactly what that's for. I never use this except for clamping old Wiser post while I'm picking it to try to get it to come apart. So that is becoming far less of a thing, even for me. This is such a shitty pair of pliers. Alright, so I guess this will do. Wipe these off. It's handy having these in there, so everything else is going to go into. Yep. Yep. This is probably needs to be retired. Let me wipe this one down. If I don't put this, like if I keep this here and forget to put it back in my truck, I'll at least have one easily found quick set tool. I feel like I need to brush that too though. So, alright, let's get this out of the way. All these are going to get recut probably. And we are done with that. Last thing over here. No idea what time it is, but I know we got to wrap it up pretty quickly. So let's just move this here. I'll deal with this later. That's toolbox. And just throw this in here to get rid of that rust. Ooh, look at you springs. One other thing I noticed. That guy. Oh, and that guy. I think I stained table, last name table, first name Clark. Hey look y'all, I actually do own a rubber mallet in the truck too. This was somebody's freezer escape tool. I let him borrow it to get out of the freezer in case he locked himself in there. So this, I didn't point this out when I had the other bag. Tool bags kind of are irritating. So before I take too much of this out, I'll point out how this rides in my vehicle. Yeah, if I need anything else, I grab this out. I have these other containers, bigger screwdrivers that, thanks again, Justin T for sending me those. And then drill bits, mostly hole saws, and some rivets down here. String that, every so often you need red string, right? Basically all my bigger silly screwdrivers. Okay, so bigger silly screwdriver, you go back to where you belong. Just in case somebody needs to borrow a screwdriver to get out of their freezer door. Good use for said screwdriver. I've thought about abandoning this guy in favor of putting them in like a Craftsman organizer type thing. Oh, you know what? Hold up. While I'm here, while I'm at this level, give me a second. Because this was really going right back in the vehicle. Oh, hello. Never know how important this screw is until you need it. Okay, let's get you out, you out, you out. Get that. Okay. Let me suck it real quick, y'all. And then we'll be done. I'm going to vacuum this out. Give me a second. Hammer down! Are you okay? Did it really go through all of that and not cut off? What? How in the hell is that possible? Like, bitch, you will cut off for no reason, but you can survive that impact. By the way, did it survive that? Okay, I guess it's... Like, what in the hell? That's just crazy. Am I right? That's just crazy, y'all. Any other time, that camera's like, ugh, 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 I can't do my job. But I don't know. You can take a free fall from a, tripod height and be like, whatever. Whatever. I ain't concerned with you. It's going to get in the way of that. These things actually get in the way of this. And that actually, it's kind of really bad design, this little pocket deal. Because all it does is get in the way, y'all. Now, yeah, you can put it over on this side. But, honestly, just putting, like, shorter tools in here is the only real answer. And seeing as how it's not a shorter, toolbox. One-way screw remover there, y'all. Like, I feel bad about regulating the wee-haws to just laying in the bottom of it there. There's not a whole lot you can do with files besides use a Valpo Rust. I don't really have any, so you're just gonna get put back in there. I mean, I guess I could soak them in Houdini, but that seems counterproductive, right? Battery holder makes that very awkward. Okay. So that and that can go back to my vehicle, and that makes us done. Well, it makes you all done. I'm not done. I'm gonna go finish that. I hate to take the gloves off, and I hate to re-put gloves back on. But I'm running low. I gotta get to Harbor Freight, y'all, to get some more gloves. Because I'm gonna have to re-glove up to do this. Alright. I literally bought these screws. And I don't know why I bought these screws. I got to take them back. I've got plenty. They're the same size as Schlage security screws, which I have a bunch of. I think the only reason I bought them is because they were full thread. And no, Anthony, these are number 12, not number 8. I looked. They still didn't have these in number 8. They can have number 10 and number 12, but they can't do the number 8. So I guess I'll keep them. I mean, it's always good to have a good screw around, right? I don't know if they're good or not, but I may need them one day for something. Okay, my double mic, is off. I see this thing has stopped working as well. What else happening over here? All right. Oh, it is. Look at that. Right on time. Oh, damn. I timed that in my head pretty good. I haven't looked at the camera in like the last 20 minutes. So let me go back over the comments and we'll wrap it up, y'all. Pressman versus stack. Ceiling does need a new paint job because we had the where it wasn't our side that leaked. It was the separation of where the awning is. And since then, so we painted the ceiling. Oh my God, that was the worst thing ever. In fact, I set myself a reminder for 20 years through Google to remind myself how much of a huge pain in the ass painting the ceiling was, which we did do. But shortly after we painted the ceiling, the separation of the awning and all that caused it to leak, which we had no control over, and thus spotted our perfectly cleaned ceiling. Pissed me off so much. And since then, painting the ceiling is not easy to do here. They're pretty high up there. You might notice the rest of the ceiling looks great, except for right there. Yes, that part could be possibly recoated, I guess. It's just going to be so obvious, though. Because once you start doing that, then you're like, well, shit, maybe if I just do, a couple of lines all the way down. No, then you're going to look at it and be like, I think that's an OCD thing, isn't it? The next thing you know, you're painting the whole ceiling. And your back is sore for days and days and days. No, we may have one right here, though. Is this not work? Why are you not working, you silly ass thing, you? Hey.
She made a lot.
Three.
You're kind of dark on it.
You needed it rekeyed, or you need the same key?
I do the same thing.
SE lock and key. Wait, we do not come out to make car keys, no man. Thank you. Okay, 1917. Tap there when you're ready. Okay, we made two. Huh, yeah, he left his keys over there. Alright, let's get disassembled, y'all. Disassembled! It's been a wonderful day with y'all. Playing with the tools and stuff. Lock force! Disassemble! My glowy ball comes with me. Disassemble. Now, I transposed the numbers in my mind. I thought to myself, I'm just going to memorize these numbers. When I've literally taught myself not to memorize numbers forever. Look, y'all, I'm going to do a video on this. This tag does cost $14. It can be yours. I'll sell it to you for $16, even though you can buy it on your own for $13.83. So if you want a brass tag from Master, be sure to go to the Banner website and order your own for $13.83. I fucking called Master to find out. Anyway, yeah, it was 5-4. I transposed the 4 and the 3. I did 5-3-4, and I was supposed to do 5-4-3. Mine's slipping. Do I have Obloy profiles key blanks? I have the old oak ones, I believe. But we never really did. Never really did them. What's a job? What the heck are you talking about, Gumby? You're talking about electricity. You need SC19 blanks because you have a copy of one that says that? Because that's what, isn't that what the kiosk are selling for SC1s or everything? If you're just going off that number, if that's that right number that I'm thinking of, then SC19s are just what the kiosk are spitting out for SC1s. It's like 98% sure it's going to be SC1. I mean, even if I had them, I wouldn't sell them. So, SC20 is the master. So, SC19 is just the 5-pin version of the SC20? Because all I carry is the SC20s. But either which way, in the Schlage world, very rarely is it going to be... It's not going to be a SC20. That's just covering for master key system. Who would use it? Rune! Oh my god, they used a 5-pin master key system. That's crazy. Yeah, I just cut them down. Might be one by the customer. Yeah, more than likely some dumb shit didn't have E's or something. Or F or something like that. Those things are a pain in the ass to cut, too. Pain in the ass to cut. But I would guess, if it was a hardware store, I would guess that somebody came in with like a E or an F, maybe. It may save you some time if you can't find them. If you already have E's and F's. The problem is you got like, somebody may have done that purposefully, right? Because somebody decided to put in a cheap Schlage in their factory that uses E. So they're like, oh, we can just make it on this key, and you can use it for both. And if it's a 5-pin, I can guarantee you that's what happened. They had some dickhead locksmith come out, replace one of their E Schlage, we'll just say knobs for all intents and purposes. And the locksmith was like, oh, this one's broken. What do I do? Let me just sell them this commercial lock. Oh shit. Their 6-pin E keyway won't fit that. So I'm just gonna grab this SC19 that I happen to have. I don't know. That's probably what happened. And the minute copies use the I want to say, yeah, it was the 19. No, but theirs is brass. Most of the locksmith versions of the SC20 is nickel silver. Yeah, C, E, and F has got to be one of those. But I'm guessing that's what happened, and guessing that's why it's 5-pin. It's because some idiot sold them a residential Schlage lock, and the 6-pin obviously won't fit in an F-series lock. So they cut it on SC19s. If it's not a minute key. Anyway, one or the other. One of the others for sure. Anyway, we're done. We got to get out of here, y'all. I've got to go film a video that I didn't get into last week and clean up my little rusty situation up there so that I make sure and have it in case, something pops up this weekend and I got to have my rekeying kit, which if I have to have my rekeying kit on Sunday, it's gonna be not cheap. So I always have my backup one in there anyway. Anyway, y'all have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in.